going.
You going live? Okay, y'all, we live. I thought I'd play that countdown for a second and give us a chance to get ourselves together. Hey, folks out there in our audience, we are live. We've had everything happen to us this day, trying to get ourselves live, but we have actually made it. So let's see if I got everybody here. Everybody open? Everybody good?
Hey.
Y'all quiet? What's up? Because we are actually live tonight, y'all. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch tonight. This is something different. First of all, before we get into the whole show, I just want to say we had y'all own people scheduled for tonight, but they had an emergency, so we're rescheduling with them. So we'll just be hanging with y'all, and doing what we normally do. So sit back and relax for the next couple hours. We'll be laughing and joking and having a great time. I'm going to talk to the team in just a few moments. But, y'all, this is something different for us. Y'all good? Because y'all look bright as hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we good.
Did you
switching things up. I'm like,
did you say
we warming up.
I know. And y'all are just like,
now,
yes.
Waiting on it.
You got the new, new out there. You know what I mean? Okay. So everybody kind of trying to process this stuff.
That's right.
Tanya, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
No one's trying to get in. Bernard.
I hear you.
Bernard's trying to get in.
Okay, I see. Yeah. So y'all can see the people trying to get in.
You gotta pay attention, girl.
Because I don't know what y'all see on y'all side. So y'all can see people.
I don't see
people.
Yeah.
I can see them.
Okay.
But when I dropped out, I just put the chat.
Okay, well let's go ahead and wait a minute. I think we got one more person trying to get in. And Rick is coming back in again. Let's see how this looks when we get everybody in. You know what? Let me change them. There you go. He got the head back on like Rick James and everything. I know that's right.
Rickness.
Okay, y'all. Let's
Rick James, man. That's Rick James right there.
But let's go ahead and roll this open so we can go officially into this show. Y'all ready?
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Man, that was nice.
Oh, getting on that side. Cool.
That was a lot better.
That was nice.
Yeah, it is. I think on my side, I'm still getting a lot of hesitation because I got rolling blackouts over here. So if you all see me kind of tripping and looking real hard, it's on my side. My internet is going like this. It's been like all day, well, at least all afternoon into the night. So just bear with us just a little bit today. I'm kind of looking like a deer in headlights. But what's up, y'all? How was your day? How was your week? What's going down the line? And y'all just tell me what's been going on. Bola, you weren't here last week. What's been going on with you?
Just get making the swing of things.
You're making the swing of things?
That's it.
What you say? What you say? Huh?
I said that's it. That was the first tweet.
But Shannon, what you got going on right now?
Well, y'all know I've been going up and down a little bit. I'm up and up pretty well. I cleaned my house today. I'm really close to finishing a logo for somebody. I got paid halfway for that, and I'm in the process of finishing this painting. Hold up, let me show y'all.
All right.
All right.
I need some.
So I
I
should
need a
have that
painting.
done in a couple days.
Excellent.
That work. That work.
Cool.
Yeah, I need a painting.
Show us.
Who said that? Who said
Need a
that?
model. I can model.
I think that was
He said, "Let me be one of the French girls."
Was that Tom? Okay, what's going on with you, Tom? Since you just joining us again, how you been?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to be back. You know, I got a house being built, so make sure my builders are doing their job. You know, I stay on them. Stay on them. I have no background in it, so I probably should leave them alone to be real, but I stay on them. You know, I'm here, though. Representing Turn 'em Loose as always. Still having a good week, enjoying life like we do.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. Welcome back. Well, let's get the other half of Turn 'em Loose. What's going on, Michael Lee?
I am, man, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm taking it one day at a time, doing my thing as far as helping, trying to help folks, help family, help people all together. So I'm just here, man. I'm existing. I'm glad to be in the skin that I'm in.
All right. I ain't mad at you. All right. Bernard, we haven't seen you in some weeks since you were burning things up with us. What's going on, Bernard Pop Savage?
The pop is loose. The pop is loose. Putting out. I just got with my illustrator to do the artwork on my children books with African proverbs. It's gonna be kicking out. Expected to come into Amazon, self-published, 36 days, dropping it like it's hot.
All right, then.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, welcome back, Bernard. Miss Margo, how you doing?
all right. This week is a little different. Everything's been a little bit slower. Not so many building DIY furniture and stuff like that, but just taking it easy and let just stuff roll, but mainly been trying to get some ideas and some lyrics to something I'm writing. I've been challenged to write something, so getting some lyrics and stuff for that. So it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting.
Okay.
Mike.
Cool. All right. Wait a minute, Rickness, what you doing? What's going on with you?
Man, it's like just a season of Six Flags, up and down. Helping with family, doing what I can for myself, trying to balance it out, but it all pays off. The light is still shining through. So I'm here. I am here. Cheers. Okay. Happy Friday, everybody.
That's good.
Cheers, brother.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
My bad.
Juneteenth.
My bad. Nappy Friday, everybody.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right there with you, pimp.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in there, bro. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
He said.
But all the drinkers raise their glass, right?
The sound is very different over here.
Right?
It's a very different sound. So I find myself really like, what in the world? Who's what? But it's
a little.
It's different. It's just quite different. So I find myself when someone mentioned Juneteenth just now, and that's something where it's tomorrow. So I wore my Juneteenth shirt. I'll show you all my shirt. This is Ashley Stewart's Freedom shirt. So I decided because
work it.
Don't get me started.
You got
She
your
knows
Afro
that.
pick.
Music.
Look, who got that Afro pick? Who got that Afro
That's what
pick
I'm
out
saying.
there?
I had a pick for a long time. I don't know what y'all talking about. I had a pick for a very long time, but I hated the afro when I was little. My mother tried to get me to wear afro. I would not wear the afro. I don't know. I just didn't like it on me. I wanted to wear ponytails, you know.
You've been
But
hanging out with the colonizers. You've been hanging out with the colonizers.
Hey, I want an afro. It just won't grow though. It just don't. It don't go nowhere. I'm trying to get my hair like Rick.
You just gotta shine it, dog. You just gotta shine it.
But you know what, y'all? You know how we always like relax our way into things. Tonight, I had a totally different plan for everything, and the plan was completely thwarted. So we're going to just feel our way through this entire situation tonight. You all will just have to bear with me, okay?
Of course.
But the cool thing is we have other toys that were on this side that we can play with that we didn't have when we were over on Zoom. So let's take a moment for our sponsor.
Art Imitates Life with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Candyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Hey, welcome back. You know what I'm thinking too? It could be that I'm running other programs on my computer. You think
Yes.
I might need to stop the other program from
Yeah,
running?
shut them down. Shut them
You
down.
might.
That
You
could
might.
be the deal. But
Turn all that nasty stuff off of there. Just take it off. Nobody need that.
All
that
of
might
it.
be it.
Get off that Chippendale page. Get off that Chippendale
You
page.
can have that run in the background. You can't save that picture.
Well, you know
No,
what?
you can't.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because I was really changing the credits because you know your people's not gonna be here tonight. But I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna still keep them in the credits. If that makes my computer run more smoothly, then we're just gonna keep them in the credits for tonight and just keep it moving. But you know, tonight was my thing. I wanted to do the guys versus the girls and guys versus dolls. That is, and I wanted to talk about the things that are different in the with males and females, whether it comes to in out there, you know, salaries and just different things that go on. I really wanted to discuss from there. So I'm going to take it kind of slow, and we might have some videos in a little bit that I kind of play, but I'm just feeling my way through it. And I'm really tripping because I am stuck. So I can't see y'all right now. Y'all can probably see me, but my
We can see you. We can see you though.
Yeah,
we
it's
can
doing
see you.
something.
Yeah, just we can see you, so
Okay,
you make sure you top
Yeah,
all that.
Tanya, put on your phone, pull up YouTube, and that way you can see us.
You know you like doing stuff in the dark anyway.
So
Don't
do
worry.
that
Oh,
I was about to say,
Well, hey now. Well,
Right.
hey now.
see us.
Whatever, Bernard.
that don't sound very fun.
Yeah.
Dark life, why
But
does
you
it
know,
matter?
I just thought
Surprises
about
are
it.
good.
I got my other computer.
Mm-hmm.
I got my other computer over here, so I got the other computer going, so I can see y'all from
Okay.
there. I
The
just
clean
can't
one.
see
She
y'all
got the
live
clean one.
at different times. But I really just want to go through, and we're going to discuss a couple things, and then, like I say, we will get into a point where I can play some videos and kind of see what's going on and work it from there. Shannon, you got some things for me, and see who else has some things for me that we can kind of go through and see what's going on. First of all, let's talk about the differences when it comes to pay. I'm just going to start right there. I'm just going right in there about money, income when it comes to jobs, how women get paid less. What do you guys feel about that? I'm just kind of curious. I ain't trying to start no mess or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But what do you all feel about?
Yeah, you are.
That part. What do the guys think about
That's easy.
Oh,
That's easy.
That's simple. That's simple.
That's
That
easy.
is so
I'm
easy.
looking at the
Way
chat.
simple.
Like, look, straight up.
Way
When you're in the military, everybody get the same damn pay. Well, depending
Okay,
on your
but
rank,
that's the military.
Yeah,
that's my life.
outside of that.
I can't say nothing. I'm usually in like a leadership position in most of my jobs.
Right. I mean,
So-
civilian sector.
I thought
I mean,
the
it could be
guys
one
supposed to
thing,
be
but
talking. I thought the guys was supposed to be talking.
Okay.
Indeed.
So,
Okay, wait a minute.
Who's going first? Y'all want me to go first? I'll jump in there.
Yeah, no, Tom, you go ahead and go first. I was trying to figure out where y'all coming from, but okay, Tom, you gonna take it. You gonna take
All
it.
right. So when you look at the situation, so I think the gentlemen here all agree that women should get paid the same amount that we get paid. The difference is, from what I've read in reports and statistics, is that women don't negotiate as strongly as men do. So what happens is sometimes you just happen to be in a game, so you might sit there and say, "Hey, let me get 6 figures, 100K." And they be like, "Cool." I come in and say, "I need 120." Right? So what happens? It ain't necessarily that y'all don't get the same pay, but as you get up and you move into a salary position, right, you got to negotiate those things. So when we're talking $8 an hour at McDonald's, that's what it is. But as we're talking about the more professional individuals who have to negotiate that salary, it seems like from what I've read and researched that women don't negotiate as hard as men do. And it could be because some women just feel happy to be in that realm to even get that money. So that's my take on it.
Okay, you know what? Before we get started, I forgot one thing. I did forget one thing because we don't normally get a chance to do this. I forgot to play the opening of the segment. How about we do that real quick?
That's all right.
That might work. That might work.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. Here we go.
Cheers.
I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Right.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
That was
Hey.
Do I need to say all that again, or are we good?
Oh, we good. The thing is, I am so rusty tonight. I am the one that's off, and the reason why I'm seeing different things, I'm hearing different things. I'm kind of like a handicap, but I'm rocking with it. But I'm the one that's having a lot of stuff going on here tonight. But I'm in. I'm in here with y'all. Okay. So
Gotta work your black magic.
Don't start.
Black magic.
Oh my God.
I got a response for Tom.
But I know what Rick is up to. What Rick is messing with me because it's something that I didn't know was going on. We're gonna break and talk about this real quick. How many people know what? How many people know what
that mean either.
I had an eye booger. No, I had an eye booger. That's all.
I got you. How many people know what FRFR means?
For real? It means
I missed that last night. Okay, so Tiana had wrote FRFR in the chat, and it means for real, for real. And then Tanya's like, I had to have it explained to me. I thought it was just like.
Like a little call. A little call and saying out loud. No, not at all. Not at all.
Because I saw my cousins doing it. My cousins had it in a text, and I was like, oh, vroom, vroom.
Guys, it's 2021.
Guys, we got to get a collection together and get her an Ebonic Bible. So she won't be called out like this anymore. So I need everybody to raise your hand who want to contribute to this education of Tanya for me. You know,
I had missed all of that. I had missed
but
all
hey,
of that.
they be changing them up, and you be like, wait a minute, I just got the other ones. Like, what's this one? What's this one right now?
Usually on top
I just
of it.
got the other ones. Like,
I'm usually on top of it, but I was not on top of that one. So,
well, you know,
2021. Everything.
I like how you make those sounds. So make that sound again.
You got little kids at 3 or 4 years old, and they go vroom vroom. That's how I was
I
doing
ain't never heard that. Nah, we ain't heard that.
Not in my family.
I would have
got in my family.
I would have thought somebody knows a mistake because I like F-R.
I didn't know that role playing, Tanya.
No, I don't do role playing that much.
We know your secret now. It's out.
But to answer your question, in terms of women getting the same pay, of course, I mean that's like, of course it's supposed to be in equal measure. That shouldn't have been like an issue. But because of how the industries or most industries are ran by most male misogynistic ignorant individuals, and now it's like it has to be a point of discussion, which is quite embarrassing. Speak from my gender. It's like you can value women when it's time to make babies, or you can value women when it's time for pleasure, your own personal pleasure. But you won't value them when they're putting in the work, if not the same more.
Yes, Lord.
When ideals are contested, because you're a woman. When ideals are contested, they're bringing things to the table. But that's the thing. Most of us are raised, of course, by women. They're the ones to go to in terms of the construct of the household, lessons, this, and that, and the other, right and wrong. But of course, dad or the man of the house, the other half, what have you. It's like men are, certain men that run the country, or individuals that run the country, they want to pick and choose when a woman is valuable, when it fits their needs, so they're put up against certain things in terms of, if you don't wear this, or she's not wearing her blouse open enough, or she's not strutting enough, no, she's not getting a raise, she may not even get this job, so unfortunately the walking and grabbing by the hair, pulling the woman by the hair antics, unfortunately still follows to this day, and which is a downfall upon society, because that trickles I want to say to, of course, media, and depending on the household, women are like devalued and looked upon as like all you have to bring it to the table is showing a thigh or two, but overlooking the brilliance, overlooking the legacies of brilliance of women, and even the boldness, not nuts, but ovaries of women, the boldness of women, so to be told, the construct of even capital wouldn't even exist without the woman. You can't have more, we can't have one without the other. Cheers.
Right. I got you. And while we're talking about that, let's give you all this stat real quick. And in the U.S., working full and part-time women make 85% of what their male counterparts earn. And for worldwide stats, so women worldwide make 77% of the amount paid to men. And this is according to the report from the United Nations International Labor Organization. So with that, anybody else want to kind of bring some more information in on what you feel about that particular subject?
Yeah, Tanya, can you hear you, Bola?
Because I didn't know. Well, Rick and Tom are right in both sense. The thing with Tom is the women from my generation and before, as women, we were not raised to be aggressive. We were raised more to be that dainty woman who sits at home. So when we go out and ask for pay, we're more willing to take what they have to offer versus sitting at the table and say, hey, I come to the table with something. We're grateful
Right.
for, because if you think about it, most of our, some of the women didn't work in our age and beyond that. And Rick, you're right, is the women is the other half of the society. So we have to come to the table. And when we come to the table, we have to be respected. But you're dealing with men from the old and men from the new. And most of the people who are making the financial decisions come from the old school. It's not until that generation is taken over by the younger generation that mindset will change. This really
I hope so.
mindset way of how to do things.
Right. Okay, Michael.
And to add to that, oh, go ahead.
Michael, you go ahead, and then Rick, and you come back.
All right, I want to go after Rick.
So look here, I agree with Bola. When she says the time difference, I feel like it's a cultural thing. When you look back in the history, when you look back in time, right? And we can take this will probably stem another conversation. But when you look back in time, men are expected to be the head of the household, to be the providers, the protectors, and the procreators, and things like that, right? So men did all of the labor. Men were expected to be able to go out and get those things necessary in order to provide. Women did not. This was a cultural thing. Now, whether you fast forward now and it's like, oh, this is wrong and this is a male chauvinistic society, but just remember that all of that was accepted once by all. A few people did not agree with it, and then we have a whole movement, and then so on and so forth. But hey, equal work, equal pay. I'm all for it. But understand that thing stemmed from a cultural aspect. So if men were the prominent and dominant folks in the workforce, and I'm not saying that in life or in a relationship, I'm talking about in the workforce, and then the women pretty much at the time stayed at home and tended to whatever it was that they tended to. When they entered the workforce, as far as the people in charge of hiring, this person does not have the same skill set that I'm looking for as this individual, where the type of work was laborious. Because remember, you were talking about the industrial age, right? So if you do more, you get paid more. If you do less, you get paid less. Now, as times changed, and then things became, I guess kind of like even keel, and we pretty much got more in the informational age, then everybody was kind of just getting at the same level. Women having these degrees and doing all of these multiple things. Now, there were some people that just said, nah, I ain't really trying to have that. I like being in charge. I like being able to hold that. I bring home the bacon thing over their head. And then it was like, well, you bring it home, damn it, I cook it. And I wash it damn well. And I do this and everything. That's just me being silly. But no, I just feel like it was a cultural thing at one point in time. And as times change, you have people that are trying to hold on to something, and then you have people changing some other things. So with the new wave and the new movements, hey, if anybody if you can do the same damn job, then you deserve the same damn pay.
Amen.
Yeah, he brings a good point. I think you also have to look at the deindustrialization of the United States of America. See, what we had a shift from the 70s to the 80s, from that jobs to start going overseas for the Asians, like Japan and Korea and everything, was stopped being made in the United States. So we made a transition from a industrialized and manufactured to a more service-oriented type of society now. And then also you look at the employment rate of Black men. We did a lot of those manufactured type of jobs, and we're making really, really good money. But now when you come to a service type of industry where they don't really need us and we can't get that job, like a real good job coming out of like maybe high school, then you have it upsets the dynamics of the family too, at a certain extent. So that's it's a lot of things going on. We're all on the same side at the end of the day, and we should get paid. If we do the equal job, we should get the equal pay. But like you were saying, it does stem from that, and you got a lot of the people who are in power, and it's hard for them to let go. But the ladies out there doing their own thing, and they're not taking it no more, and they're demanding their rights, and they should have.
Damn sure ain't taking it.
And what's crazy is like we'll try to demand our rights. Okay, so the most previous job I had, they gave me a raise or whatever, but it wasn't what I deserved. I deserved to be making around $70K for everything that I do. I know 10 programs off the top of my head. I can learn a program in less than 3 weeks. I can do anything you really need me to do. And at the time I was taking care of like the entire design, like both sides of the house, you know what I mean? And it's like, instead of, we'll come off and I'll be like, okay. So I was straight up. I was like, I deserve to be making $70K, but we come off as being aggressive instead. So then we get shut down for being aggressive. So we can't win for losing, because I'm not fixing to walk up to you and be like, pretty please, can I have a raise? No, I'm going to tell you, like, I've done A, B, C, D. You need to give me my money.
Hey, but I'm gonna say this, right?
Well, that's a situation too. When men get masculine energy from women, they don't really accept it. I mean, that's kind of been like the norm. If you come with a more feminine, I hate to say it, but if you come with a more feminine energy, they're liable to accept any term that you want.
But my higher up wasn't a man. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that's how. It is true. Psychologically and emotionally, we're no different than the caveman, emotional and psychological. So that hasn't changed. I don't feel like I to get the money I deserve.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me get Rick in there real quick.
I'm just saying.
I would say it's like this, like you said, culturally, it's culturally influenced. More so, it's like, to me, it's denying influence and an ignorant influence, because women are rarely taught about their queenship from all cultures. They're not taught. Neither of the men are taught about women and their queenships throughout history. So, like, we appropriate masculinity with strength, but fail to do the same with femininity, because you cannot have one without the other.
Oh no!
You cannot have. That makes absolutely no sense.
You're out of balance.
How can you grow without the balance? Right. So, just to throw that in. Go ahead.
I want to throw something else out there, right? Just a different point of view. Just a different point of view, right? As a business owner, right, we also try to cut costs. So it ain't so sometimes, yes, I agree. When if you're talking Microsoft, if you're talking Amazon, I think we all acknowledge that there is a problem in those companies. But if you're talking normal startups or small businesses, right, we don't have a lot of money. So if you're coming to me saying, hey, I know I'm worth 70,000, my business might not be able to handle giving you 70,000. Right. So all of this is not a even
I don't work at places that can't give me that.
Right.
And that's your right. And that's your right.
And that's exactly right. If you can't give me the money, like, I think I'm worth 6 figures. You see what I'm saying? So I get 6 figures.
Hey, you bring it up to 6 figures. All you got to do is call me. You can call me at 3 a.m. I'll be like, yes, baby. What do you need?
So this is the deal, right? But if you can't give me what I believe I'm worth, then I don't work that job. I go somewhere else with somebody.
Don't you take that south? Don't you take that south at all, Mike?
Hey, what you need, baby? What you need?
So I was just saying, when you're talking about certain business, so I get cautious, and I want to be very cautious when we say, like, hey, we know that women don't get paid, but guess what? Men don't all get paid the same either. There's no real standard. Right. It's kind of what you negotiate. It's kind of what you bring to the table. And similar is not the same.
No, it's not what you bring to the table, because when we step up,
I'm gonna be the bad guy today. I want everybody to
because when we try to step up, we're seen as aggressive, and it's completely different.
I'm gonna talk about
that's true. I don't disagree with that. But we do know that there's women in the industry who are very aggressive, and they get what they want, right? So it's kind of, you got to kind of figure out, like, every company's not for us, right? And that's the thing. Sometimes we get into a company and we're trying to make that company for us. We shouldn't be there.
You got to know that culture.
You got to know the culture.
Okay,
You're right, Pops.
Let's do this first. Let's do this first. I'm gonna get Bola in here first, and then I have a couple comments myself because I want to ask you a little bit deeper on some things. Okay.
Tom, when you talk about that, yes, as a small business owner, you look at things different. But overall, the statistics are showing. Number one is America is further on the swing of giving equal pay to women. World round, women are paid less if you look over the world. So it's not just an individual company, but this is the perception of the world that the woman is not valued. Still not valued. It is getting better, but it's still not valued. Not only the woman, your color. Even
that's what I want to get.
Yeah, I was
the what? The what?
The color.
Your color.
Black
and whether or not you're single or married. Married people getting more pay than what single people get. So depending on where you fit. I did a report. I looked at statistics on that because they feel a married person has more responsibility than a single person. So
let me add to what Bola's saying. Actually, this article that I'm looking at from Marie Claire is saying that Black women have to work 19 months to make what white men did in a year, according to the National Women's Law Center. The current numbers place them as earning 63 cents for every dollar earned by a white non-Hispanic man. That number is even steeper for a Latino woman, 55 cents on every dollar. Asian American and Pacific Islander women are paid 52 cents for every dollar. What do y'all think about that?
If you're comparing Black women to white men, you can compare any Black anything to white men, and we're always at the bottom.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's like it goes down further for Hispanic and Asian and all that. It goes down further and further. So what do y'all think about that, Michael? You want to comment?
Yeah, number one. I wanted somebody, because I haven't done it yet, but I hear a lot of the things about the women not getting paid, equal and right, in male dominant society. So has anyone looked at the businesses owned by women? And do women pay men? Wait. Do women pay men more than they pay women? Or because it's woman owned, do the women tend to get equal shake, or do they get favoritism? That's separate. That's separate from answering her.
That's a good one.
Here we go.
Right? I used to work in small and minority business, and what a lot of the white community was doing, the men, in order to get the contract, they put the business in the wife's name, gave them 51% of ownership, and they kept 49 just to get that certificate. But still, the man made the money. So of course,
but that ain't what I'm saying. I'm talking about in today's society.
But
what I want to do is get back to the original question.
What I'm saying is that you can't look at all women businesses, because not all women businesses are truly owned by the women, especially when it comes to the white woman.
But those that are owned by the women, how do they pay their subjects? Now with the and we'll get back to that, Bola. We'll get back to that, Bola. I'm sorry for going off track. I was trying to get that one in before we got onto that. So the pay when it comes to specific races, and then the degradation as it goes down the line. I just look at it like this. I think it's all a part of when you look at America from what we know from his story. You know what I mean? When you look at America, you think of America. I mean, when you look at it, first thing that comes to mind is white folk and black folk, black and white, right. But then when you start bringing in, even though we're a country of immigrants, when you start bringing in the Latinos or whatever, depending on the perception of Latinos, and the fact that at least where I'm from in Texas, people have the running perception that Latinos will do work for less. right? Because they don't mind doing, most people in America feel like, well, at least, where I'm from, they feel like, well, I'm worth more, so I'm not going to work for anything less, right? But then you have some people that say, hey, what I'm saying, I'll shovel shit and snow, and I don't care. So as long as you pay me, that's all I want is a buck. Give it to me, right? Because I got a family to take care of. And they put their pride to the side and they do what they need to do. And then so on and so forth. So my opinion would be that I think it's based off of the perception of what they think and how they feel of immigration and or what people are willing to accept. That's kind of my thing. Okay. And then it kind of stems it way down. Golly, I can't talk. Down the line.
Okay, we got you.
Right.
I've got a question for you. I mean, like you all have been touching upon it, and it's something that I deal with. Let's say myself as a business owner. How come when I have to, and this is not about the pay, this is just about in general, me as a business owner, how come when it is I'm having to speak my mind or get a little bit more assertive, I'm seen as a bitch, aggressive and a bitch. Right, a threat. But if I'm sweet, I'm pushover. I can't find the whole thing in there. Margo, you sound like you want to say something. Go for it.
I had thought about that because and being of my skin color and tone, anytime that we come off aggressive, we're seen as being a bitch or complaining or upset about something. But maybe we just need to make sure that we're stating what the problem is, what we would desire for it to happen, and like, okay, here's my list of facts. This is what I'm doing. This is my qualifications, all that kind of stuff. And even with you dealing with other people, they need to respect you enough to and take your word for word. And it's like, this is how I need my stuff to run. And if you can't understand that, then you either need to do something else, or let's try to figure out where we have this disconnect, where we're not understanding each other and on the same page. Because it's like, I need you to get there and I need your help. And this is the level that I want to do it at. So it's not about me.
I feel like it's an education of some type that's missing as well, because like I have a friend who owns business. He can say something to his employees, but if I said that exact same thing, then I would be considered response.
Right. Yeah, it's a different response. A different response how they take it.
Well, I have to say, one of the reasons I say it's like that is because the media. What do they portray on, number one, on the TV shows, and how do they portray minorities in the news? So it's always totally different.
Everything is questioned.
Yeah.
Every decision, everything that you do is questioned.
Also with that, it's how much these so-called heads, I'm just gonna say it, these dickheads, how much they value the women in their own lives, from their children, their daughters, their grandmothers, to their mothers, to their wives.
Right.
How much do they value the females in their personal lives?
Right.
And you have all of these type of heads coming on one accord and perpetuating the same tradition of paying women less, and really it's out of cowardice. These are cowards that we're talking about. They don't want to witness the strengths of women. They don't want to witness the intelligence of women and how much it's even influenced them to even get the chair to make the decisions that they're still making. Let's talk about that. Because they just want to grab them by the. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a woman. Look, you have a mother. Look, you have a mother. You have a mother. You have a grandmother. You have a wife that's pushing you, baby. You know what? Go ahead and apply for that VPC. Go ahead and apply for that CEO. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. So you already have a backing, but you won't even return that. You're coward. You're being a coward. You won't even return that in terms of witnessing the strength of the women that's been holding you down more than the men in your own life. So now you want to hide.
Let's not hide off the fact that women have been in the household put in a position to be seen as fragile, to be seen as like a not a provider, but a nurturer, like someone who is there to catch you when you're falling, as opposed to someone who is going to be leading you. So I can't tell you how many times I've lost a job just based on sexual tension that my manager had for me, or like some like sexual harassment shit that's been going on with me, and like I can't go talk to HR about it because it's like it's verbal.
Because it's cowardice.
So paper trails are super important when you're, especially if you're a woman. Paper trails are super important, not only to prove the work that you are doing, but to prove the situations that you're getting into.
Right.
So these are cowards. These are cowards. These are cowards that we're talking about.
I mean, we can say cowardice, but at the bottom line, it's all about control. Okay.
It is.
It's all about control. It's not about they're not scared of women. They want to control women. You got to think that women just had the right to vote. They had the right to vote after black men. So they always wanted to keep the women, in case
because they are afraid.
This certain dynamic.
But Rick is not afraid.
They are afraid. They are afraid.
They're more afraid than cowards. They're probably more afraid than being cowards.
I don't think they're afraid, and I don't think they're cowards. I think it's respect.
Yes, right? It's a lack of respect.
So let's get back to the humanity of things, right? What happens is, and back to what Bola said, right? Back to what Bola said. It's a cultural thing. If we're talking about here in America, because I can't speak outside of these borders, right?
Right.
Not intelligently, first of all. But in America, right, when you look at respect levels, young boys are grown. We play team sports. We learn to be leaders younger. They put us in leadership positions at young age, right? That doesn't generally happen for most females unless they play sports and so forth, right? That's a smaller community. So what happens is everything that they show and everything that's in our culture dictates that the man is the leader. Why did people vote for Trump? They said because he looks tough, right? And that's how simple our minds are in this country. So what happens is there's a perception, and right now, baby boomers, as they're fading off, they still run a lot of these big businesses, right? And they don't look at women the same way as, let's say, a Generation X who's coming up will do so, right? And so a lot of women at this time won't make, first of all, nobody really makes equal pay. So what we're talking about is similar pay, right? When we're talking about real money, if we're talking, McDonald's, that's a different pot of money. We're talking a different conversation. But it's not that they're afraid, because the white man would not be afraid of anybody. They dominated this country forever. So they're not afraid of anyone, right? And a lot of white women are pushing through, as we see this in Congress and in government and so forth, right? But in the normal businesses, what it comes down to is they just don't respect certain individuals. And what happens is, if you don't look, men already know we don't want to be liked, we don't even want to be loved half the time, but you got to respect them. If you don't love me, respect.
That's my mindset.
So what is wrong? So what is wrong with respect? That's the question. So why not acknowledge?
Before we go there, I want to take it a few places, and then we go deeper, because I do have some things on that respect level, Rick, where I want to go. But I want to, before we segue, I want to just mention that, like, I'm looking at this article too, and it's talking about how women are underrepresented in government, in the executive suite, in the news media, in the tech sector. I mean, just all over the place. It just seems to me it's not just in general, just in one area, but we have a lot of industries. But now this is something where I'm wondering if this is the basis of some of that mentality and attitude. Women still shoulder the burden of everything of the household. So when it comes to that, is that what we see stemming out into the work world? Let's start from there, and then we can kind of change the narrative.
Because number one, the woman is the one who has the baby. So normally, in the past, is a woman who had to take leave of absence. So employers did not 100% rely on the woman because they knew anytime she could come up pregnant, and depending on how her pregnancy went, will determine the amount of work she put in.
Yep.
So, with our era, that's how we grew up. In this new generation, and that's who runs the workforce. It's not to put Shannon's age. That is not who runs the upper whatever.
No, not yet.
That's not there yet. It is still our age group. So we still have that mentality. As women, we can't just put it on the men, because not only when women were going to the work field in the workforce, they want to be treated like that, pampered by their male counterparts. So we want it both ways, and we can't have it both ways. And men are like, okay, just stay in this role. Because you remember when, as admins, a lot of admins, the secretary would go out and do the dry cleaning and things like that for her boss.
Oh, the other odd jobs, yeah.
Yeah, part of your other duties. So it is only now that they're seeing admins. Now that's not part of their duty. Your admin is not your extra wife. That's why a lot of men had other affairs with their secretary.
And that's why we got better job descriptions.
Right. They have to, because people would not be able to differentiate. I don't know why I can't talk, but between a wife and somebody who works at your job. Most of the time when we were growing up, hey sweetie, men will call you sweetie. They still do that. Huh?
Not no more. Y'all go to EO. Y'all turn to city.
Now people go to EO, but at times their women do like that. Some women have jobs just to get husbands. So it's
along that lines right there. Let me flip this script. Let me flip the script real quick.
None of that.
But let me flip the script real quick. Like, I have a habit. I am a CEO. I have a habit of saying honey, sugar, all that.
But it's looked at different when we say it, because it's looked at us being like that. That's us putting our claws.
Nah, man, that's a term of address. That's a term of address. If you Southern, that's a term of address.
That's automatically
right? My great uncle would come at me and tell me, "Hey, sugar," as a grown ass man. Hey, babe, as a grown ass man.
Still do that. That's a Southern thing.
Or something. Yeah, it's
terms of address. And going back to that other shit. Hey, look here, man. Get over yourself. Period. Men, women, whoever. Like that's just a thing, right? It was like culture. Wherever you're from, your culture had you playing certain roles and doing certain things. Now, when you cross cultures and you enter into a whole nother type of workforce or culturalism or whatever the hell you want to call it, guess what? Adjust and adapt. Right. Get all this pride shit. Oh, you can't do this and you can't call me this and this and I need this. I can tell right now, just with the change in time. Sorry, because I'm a little bit passionate. It's not anger.
I was like,
no, it's just like
turning it loose, baby.
Right?
Bring it.
So it's just like with the change of times. You know what I'm saying? Well, I deserve this. I deserve that. Do you? Do you really? What the fuck make you think you deserve something more? What have you done? What have you done to show me? What have you proven to me that I need to pay you more? Well, you got a piece of paper. Well, shit, they falsify those. Now what? You know what I mean?
Or they all got the paper.
And I'm not saying this towards women. I'm talking about this in anybody that's in the workforce, period. But at this point in time, when women, it's unequal, it's unfair. Well, what you call it just brought up a good point. Hey, if I'm a business person, I could be a female or an animal with a business thing. And we all know the business idea. I'm looking for longevity, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if you can't put in time because, sorry, I understand that it is nature, but 9 months of you being gone, I'm losing profit if it's all about money, right? If it's all about money.
I get that 100,000%. But I'm gone for 9 months and I'm having your baby. I mean, I'm having the babies of the world. You know what I'm saying?
My baby.
Hold up.
Let her finish.
Hold on.
See right there? See, that's that
Hold on.
administrative
On a personal note, I'm still working from home. You don't lose no money off of me because I can work
Now.
wherever I want to go. On like a personal note, like I get the respect part. A lot of mine. Okay, so I'm in the process right now of deciding if I want to stay in corporate or if I want to go off on my own and just be an artist and be able to do this graphic design stuff on the side. The reason why is because I am tired of being sexualized in the workplace. I am tired of being harassed. I can come in in a muumuu and somebody is still trying to be like, hey, let me. No, I do not go to the bathroom where I sleep. I don't go to the bathroom where I sleep. So I don't mess with anybody. Let
me say something. Shannon. Sometimes we get sexualized because of the way we put ourselves out.
Oh no! Don't even bring that in. No, I'm gonna have to do this chat right now because that's some bullshit. The way that I present myself, it does not. No. The way that a man controls himself don't have shit to do with me or the way that I look, and that's real talk. I'm gonna step away for a minute because I can't do that.
Well, you
okay.
Hey, hold up. Hey, Shannon, don't step away.
No. Let her go calm down. But I will tell you the truth about what it is. When you work in a workforce with men, as a woman, you have to be careful how you are perceived. Because there are a lot of women out there who not only get jobs to get husbands, but are very flirtatious. So how you want to be received by your counterpart is very important. Shannon, you talk about that. You're not the only one who has been sexualized like that.
Like what I'm saying is, I can show you pictures of how I dress at work. I can straight up show you pictures of how I dress at work. I don't do any of that. I walk in the most professional dress that I could dress in. How is it my fault?
Wait. Time out.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to hear each other.
Let's break it down. Okay?
I did not say you.
Hey, look,
I said some women. So the rest of us have to be aware of what we are doing as women. You took it personal.
Oh yeah, because you said you.
I did not say you. You heard you.
Let me
jump in
here.
Hey, look, the truth is this.
Wait, Tanya. Tanya, go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead.
Yes, just because I don't have a loud ass voice and I can yell over y'all, don't ignore me now. So I'm trying to be diplomatic, okay? But my thing is this. I'm rolling back first on what Michael was saying a little while ago, and then we'll come forward because I was doing some other stuff. Technical, I changed the whole titles and the thumbnails and everything while y'all were talking. If you notice, the whole look of the show has changed while y'all were doing that. But what I was saying, when I say we have the babies, first of all, it's a societal thing. Somebody has to go and have the babies until we can get men, which might come one day, to have the babies. That we have to be the ones that step away and do that. So that's the first thing that some people have to bear with us in that workforce. Yes, I do understand there's certain things that are there. But now let's move forward to this other thing that's going on. You know, I understand both sides of where Bola and Shannon are coming from because I get stuff myself sometimes. Guys in their own head will dream up some stuff. You know, I get both sides, but then there's the other side that I have to watch what I give them too, because if I know it's there, I pull all the way back. The way back when I feel like it's going in that direction, not because I did anything, just because I am. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just because I am.
That's what I was getting at.
But I mean, like,
you gotta also that.
So hold on. First off, I want to apologize. I get real lit off that because it's almost like every job I'm at, I have some type of thing. I've had a man try and like break open an elevator door to try and ride the elevator with me. I had a security guard pull up behind my car and block me from getting out and try and like pull my dress off to the side in the middle of the parking lot. So it gets really extreme for me. Yeah. So I apologize for getting so lit, first of all. So like, but that's, but I want to let you know that's where I'm coming from, because it's real serious for me.
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Men like women.
Let me get Tom real quick. Tom, will you go ahead?
Okay, so men like women, right? We do, and at work, I'm with you. So think about this: it's 24 hours in a day, right? I'm sleep 8 of those hours. 8 of those hours I'm spending at work, and then the other 8 I'm at home or doing whatever I like to do for leisure and family, right? Or if you don't have a family, so I say that to say most people find their spouse where they work. Right, or where they spend time as where they find a spouse. So generally at work, if they're single or married, unfortunately, it don't matter what you wear, it don't matter whatever, right? If you're cute and they find you attractive, they're going to hit on you. Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just talking about the realism of life, right? Because you can't put work like the human factor doesn't matter no more because we're at work. I'm still man, you're still woman. I still find you attractive. I'm still shooting my shot. Right, it doesn't just happen at the club, you know. What I'm saying? It happens anywhere. Gas station, it's
happens everywhere. Market, church,
right? So yeah, maybe that's not what I get it. That's not what y'all want, but it tends to happen. And if you tell them no, right, you got to shut the door early on men. If you keep it open, they're going to keep thinking that there's a crack.
You're right. You're right. I'm going to say this, and this is really bad. I'm going to say it, and then I want Shannon, if we can go in the chat in a few minutes, Shannon or Michael.
Yeah, I got you.
There's a time in my world where my weight fluctuates, right? Being with more weight was more comfortable to me because of the pressures of the men. That does come into play. And how do I say it? The stress level, the taken for granted, the different things that I hate that I feel more comfortable in a larger suit.
Bigger body.
I hate to say it that.
Yeah.
Big girl pants.
Yeah. I didn't say that, Bernard. And that's just because of the pressures that the men would put upon me, and that's sad to feel that way. Y'all know where I'm going with this. I'm trying to be
that's the degree of, if you're larger, the two things, not being less attractive and also having more weight on you to protect yourself. Because I had a young lady, I was in Bollywood, and she was, molested coming up, and she actually wanted to be a heavier woman to first discourage men from coming at her, and the second is that she wanted to be able to defend herself because she was a little to handle herself a little bit because she got more weight to bring to the party. So I understand exactly what you're saying, and it is a real psychology that is working in some women, that to protect themselves, they want to look less protected, less attractive. Unfortunately,
I was like that in my younger years.
Right.
Roscoe and some mace will handle all of that.
Well, see, when I was younger, I didn't have that,
when I
courage with that, because I had other things going on too. So, but go ahead, Bola.
Right.
But like growing up in that arena, I would say was sometimes you just can't protect yourself. You protect your heart, and you end up going cold because you will find out you will end up going from job to job to job and face the same issue. Even like Tom was saying, a man is gonna like what a man likes. I remember when I was 19, one of my bosses came to me and said, "Hey, I need you to go out with this guy so we can get a better deal." This man weighs
Wow.
what, $300? Yeah,
Whoa.
300 pounds more than I did. I said, I don't
Oh
want to
no.
go out with him. And
No,
he said, but I need you to.
that's scary.
Yeah.
But
That's
those
crazy.
are the things a lot of women have to face.
Mhm.
And that's why when I said because you know what you're facing, you have to protect yourself on how you yourself dress, so people out there don't perceive you as something else or how someone else conducts themselves. Because I know in my era, a lot of women used to sleep with men higher up, either to climb up the corporate ladder or to find a husband. That was just the norm. We knew that was the norm.
But it's like even now, like if we wear like the latest office fashions, like even if I wear something that's like a one-piece pencil skirt dress type thing,
It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like this is a professional outfit, but yet I cannot wear it because of how I'm going to be. It should it needs to come a point where it is not like that anymore. If this is a professional dress, I should be able to wear it and feel confident and feel beautiful in the office and be able to mind my own business.
But like Tom said,
Right. Well, here's another thing. Here's another thing with that. Here's another thing with that. Women.
Okay, that's
women
we're
wearing
going to do the
things.
chat.
Oh yeah.
Like women wearing certain outfits to fit their good morning, like to feel good about themselves or whatever. Whether or not they realize that they are enticing the opposite sex, which is natural, doesn't give any cause for them to cross the boundaries. But at the same time, what women are facing with is women that cannot wear certain things and get the same response. So not only are they up against, the upper, the management, they're also versed. They also have oppositions with the same sex. Why is she wearing that? She can wear that, but I can't. She can pull it off, but I can't. I'm gonna send a complaint to HR. I'm gonna send a complaint to management. She's wearing this, and I was wearing this last week, and I got sent home. Why she get to wear this? Or not even. That's not even the case. It's the fact that she's wearing something a woman can pull off. Certain women can pull off certain things that other women can't. And then here comes the floodgates of hate unfolding. So it's a lot.
Rick, I know when I was, I had one boss that she wanted to hire me because she got upset. We were in the elevator. She was white, these white guys, and they were engineers and lawyers. Well, they stopped the elevator to watch me. I get upset with her. She all of a sudden says, "Oh, I can't hire you." I find out she didn't hire me because of jealousy. So again, so things like that. I'm not the only one it happens to. It probably happens a lot.
I got stories too.
Women have to be careful.
Shannon, hit those comments real quick, and then we'll come back in.
Okay, so Tiana, in reference to us getting paid more, she's like, I went from being offered highly technical positions before I transitioned because, fun fact about Tiana, she's actually transitioning from male to female. And she went from being hired high technical positions to positions that weren't as technical before. Like, so it was like her qualifications were half of what they were when she was a man. And if you can afford, money for men, then you can afford the same amount for women. But companies are paying women only. She put 2 cash signs instead of 3, as they would pay men. And she said, I used to be able to walk into a nuclear plant and tell them what needs to be fixed, and boom, it gets fixed. But then I would walk in 2 years later with 2 more years experience and tell them, as a woman, what needs to be fixed, and it had to be verified 9 different ways once she changed her name.
Oh wow.
And my friend Frankie Cash said, you got to be sweet for me to call you sweetie, but you can blame the lawyers for that. Also, Rick, I have a question for you. Who is Travis Bennett?
Yeah, because he's after you, Rick.
Who is Travis Bennett? Before I read his comments.
Don't read it.
I don't know.
Don't read it.
Look here. Who Travis Bennett is? Look here. Who Travis Bennett is? My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. I don't know that cat. He's not in my phone rotation. He's not in my comments. He's not in my text. Look, he's not in my text message. As a matter of fact, ask him.
I won't read his comments. I won't read his comments at all.
Well, you know, Rick, you have gotten your first. You've got your first person out there who is crushing on you. And
yeah, he is.
Trying to get that back on you. So, what's up, Travis? Thanks for watching. Rick is the first one. Damn it! I thought I was gonna be first. Okay.
Yeah, Rick. I mean, you saying something?
I got
right,
nobody.
You doing something right? You hitting the nerve.
Hey, Rick, I need to get braids like you, bro. Because I'm
looking it up.
It's on Facebook.
I'm looking it up.
It's on Facebook.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Hold on, I'll send you a screenshot of it because I was like, "Who is this?"
He said something about a back massage.
He said, "Lick your lips again."
Lick your lips to sweet cheeks.
Sweet cheeks, indeed.
He does not want you to come and spray it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
And what's
it's like
Right, but okay, can I address something real quick though to get back on topic, right? I don't want to, but I think we probably. But
we all just got jealous of Rick real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. So did I. I gotta get braids now. But I don't want people to forget this, right? Like, remember, life's about progression, not perfection, right? So it's like we want a lot of, like, with the new generations coming up, we want everything now. Everything should be fair now. Everything should be equal now. But it's not, right? Just how old am I? I'm 46. So just 50 years ago, right? Jim Crow ended in like what? When did Jim Crow end? 65?
I don't remember the year.
Like 65, 66, somewhere around.
Yeah, 65, 66. So what we're asking for in the minimal time is, hey, everything should be perfect now. Everything's not going to be perfect.
It's not going to happen.
Right? People got to keep fighting the fight. So it's like people are saying, hey, we should have, it doesn't matter if you're LGBT, if you're black women or black men or whatever you are. The new generation has grown into a world where they're like, we should have all this now. The truth is, we might have it 100 years from now. So equal pay will be cool 100 years from now because a lot of people got to die before we can even start having that conversation.
Well,
right? Because old money goes a long way in a lot of companies. And then if you don't get the right people into the positions as in government and state government, local government, federal government, these things will never change. So it's cool to be like, hey, I live now. Like, you think I feel I get paid the same amount as a white guy who does project management like I do? Nah, I know I don't. Right? But I gotta fight that fight. I gotta keep fighting that fight though, so that the people behind me, right? Because I want to like my dad's the first person. My father, my dad, born 1950 something. He was 51. He was the first guy in his family to go to college. You see what I'm saying? Like when you look at your history, you're like the first or second generation of something great, most likely in America. But yet we're saying, hey, we should get paid with the same people who got paid for hundreds of years is pay. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is the reality of it. Right? Yes, we got to get more. Yes, I got to get more degrees than the regular person. I know that. I'm making that fight. But then I make my kids stronger so that when they got to make that fight, they're already in that game higher. Right? And that's what we had to understand. We can't expect everything now. Right? I think Pops is a little bit older than me, and Pops know the struggle way more than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Talking to you, Bernard.
The struggle is real. I mean, it really is. And you got to realize that for the positions and where we at right now, People were lynched, people were hung, people lost their whole entire family. Look for example as Greenwood, Black Wall Street. I mean, you guys want like instant food, and it's not an instant world. It's a world of progress. Yes, it's wrong. Yes, it needs to be changed, but change, like you said, it's not going to come overnight. But the thing is, you guys got to stay the course, and you got to stick to it. And you can't accept no. You got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually your time will come. But unfortunately, the time is being delayed right now because power doesn't release power unless it comes by a stronger power. Okay, so if I'm already in a power position, I'm not going to give up my power unless you take it from me.
Right. Okay, I got you. You know, something I saw also in this article, and I want to see you all think about this, is that older women, like in the retired ages, are more likely to live below the poverty line than their male counterparts. What do you think about that as well?
Well, of course they will. If they're getting paid throughout the years more than the men, of course they're going to live much lower than their male counterparts when it comes to retirement. It just goes hand in hand.
You know, the older counterparts that I had, when I would tell them just about even just basic relationship things, just how I would speak up to men and tell them what I want, they'd often tell me, like, I wish I would have spoke up more, especially when I was younger. I wish I would have developed that, because it just wasn't like, even I have, being a Southern woman, even I have that don't speak. Like if I'm in a relationship, okay, this sounds really weird, but if like I'm walking out in public with someone and like say I'm in a relationship or something, and like he's engaging in a conversation, unless I'm spoken to, I'm not really going to engage in it. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of, especially the older generations, I feel like that's a big thing, that women do not speak unless they are spoken to. So a lot of it comes with the intimidation of like, oh, should I speak up for myself? Because it wasn't just, you weren't taught to speak unless spoken to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, we get it. It's a cultural thing.
But I also have along, like I mentioned just now about the whole poverty line, there's also the other situation of women being more hungry, like less food. You know, why is it that, okay, they're saying that the women, of course, have more money that they have to spend on insurance and healthcare, but why are women and girls facing more chronic hunger? Let me explain that a little bit more. It's estimated that 60% of chronically hungry people around the world are women and girls. And it can be a statistic that has a trickle-down effect of larger problems of gender inequality and a lack of education, lack of job opportunities, and violence against women. According to the WFP Gender Policy and Strategy, high food prices, climate change, and economic instability exacerbate existing inequalities. You know, so this is something else. This is the first time I really looked at this like this. They're saying women disproportionately experience hunger in the United States when compared to men. Like in this country, 26.6% of families with a single mother live below the poverty line and are more likely to be food insecure than the 31.6% compared to the 14.9% and also other single fathers. Okay, statistics zero for single fathers. But has anybody ever thought of that part too, about how women and girls face chronic hunger? Anybody thought about that?
You think about it this way, okay? As women, as mothers, they're gonna feed their children and their husbands first, and they're gonna go hungry. You see that all over the world.
Right.
A woman will sacrifice food for the rest of her family, where I don't think men do that. You know, if the child's hungry, the dad will say, "Didn't you eat something?" Where the woman's like, here's my plate.
Yeah, like take my portion. Yeah. And I definitely get that. It's another, for being a female, not just a mother, but it's another sacrifice. If we're already giving up so much of ourselves to so many different titles that we hold, just you know, not only do you work, you're the mother, you're the aunt, you're the mate, the helpmate, the wife, the confidant, the teacher, you know, it's a part of one of those of giving up another section of yourself that you're kind of just like barely squeezing, you know, that extra little bit out that you barely even have. So it's like to go without eating. We might place that or put that somewhere where, oh, we'll be okay. Like we can make it long as we see that they're getting what they need or are going to be okay in, you know, living on or something like that. But we're used to kind of just going through it and just doing it.
Yeah,
I got you.
and on top of that, right?
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Pop.
I think it's also the mindset of women. You're talking about maternal instinct, as just piggybacking what her said, that women will sacrifice in certain areas like food to take care of the family, where a man would sacrifice in other areas to defend the family, like to give up his life to defend his family. So I think it makes sense when you think about it from that perspective, not just try to, it's not all equal. We try to look at things as men and women being equal. We're different. And we both bring a lot to the table, but it's not the same thing. But but bringing it together makes a balance for the whole, for all of us.
So no,
and this is where it becomes a generational.
For when one torch is gets too heavy, the other counterpart has to pick it up. So in a sense, we both play that role when need be. Just like, you know, the single father's trying to do the best that he can to do her hair or to give her aspects in terms of womanhood, but it's coming from a place in terms of what a man wants to see out of a woman versus how a woman should be from a woman. You know, we can only do our very best, but it's I don't want to say the word tricky. I'll just say it's very it's difficult. It's very difficult. Like a single mother giving a young man or trying to teach a young man about masculinity. It may seem as if I'm going off course, but I'm just gonna flow with it. A woman teaching a young man about masculinity, or a man teaching a young lady about feminism or femininity. Not feminism, excuse me, but femininity. That's honestly, to me, like me myself, I don't feel like it's appropriate. I don't feel like it's just, but that's just my own perspective. But both sexes play a major role. A major role. It's very important to have that balance and have that full and true understanding and recognizing both roles. Knowing the importance of yourself, knowing the importance of both sides. That's it. That's all I have for now.
Well, I'll jump in here real quick and then I'll stop. So what happens? I think what happens a lot of times is if you're talking about more traditional women, right? Then they get involved with a man. Then they're looking at that man for, like as Rick said, to take care of, to protect, whatever the cost is, right? So they unfortunately they have to put their careers, or they choose to put their careers on the back burner. Now that relationship doesn't work out. That man leaves. That woman is stuck with those kids, but because she put her relationship on the back burner, she didn't go to school continuously to get the education that she needed to be competitive in the workforce. She didn't go get those certifications. She didn't do the things that she needed. Meanwhile, the man did it. So if the man gets the kid, guess what? I still got my master's degree. I'm still competitive in the world, but the lady that I left behind me is not. And I experienced that personally in the military because with all the moves that we have made, as I progressed throughout life, my wife had to sit on that back burner and she took the blunt of all the, you know, she has a career, but then now we got to move. So now she's moving to Alaska. Now she has to keep starting over. And I moved 9 times in 20 years.
Wow.
So imagine that's 9 times of her having to start over to try. Now imagine now I say, well, I'm out. Right. And I leave you with a 3-year-old kid. She can't, she's not even competitive in the world because she put her reliance in me. And I think that happens a lot, way more. If you're a traditional woman, that tends to happen. The modern woman is a little bit different. They're more aggressive. The modern man is more different. They're more acceptive of let's be equal, and we have different bank accounts, and you know, your money's your money, my money's my money. But for us older people, it's not that way.
Right, I understand.
I'm not that old. I just want to put that out there. But
I understand.
I'm still in my prime, you know what I'm saying?
Prime,
I understand. But you know, my parents are that way. My father's job, he moved a lot, and it just so happens that my mother, because she was a teacher, she was able to adjust a little quicker than some people might, because she go to another place and she teach, and then she goes to another place and she would teach. So yeah, we kind of dealt with that same thing. And had she not been in that profession, it probably would have hurt the household more. Yeah, you know, had she been in something else. But she had been teaching for a lot of years, and so she had that seniority and all that, and that experience. She was able to fall in. So I do understand what you're saying on that, PT.
You know, I mean, you guys say that, and think about it. Most of our mothers had the traditional women job that catered to the man's job. So whenever they had to leave, it was no big deal. You know, but like you said, the modern woman is totally different. You know, and Tanya, you and I kind of caught in the middle of that generation. Do we go a modern way, or do we go the, you know, the traditional way? And it's trying to find.
My mom was a little different.
Yeah, I come from
a little different. She actually, my mom was like traditional job, but she was a little different because she decided for that era to get married and have kids a little bit later than most people during her era. And then she also, when she met my father, my mother already had her degrees and she was owned the home and everything, which was very different for that time. You know, and it's very different. We were just talking about it the other day, and how she built a house, and how much trouble she had when building a house, because they thought that a man should be the one that was standing there. My grandfather was already deceased, you know, so she had to do everything herself and to oversee. Right. Go ahead, Margo.
No, I was saying I helped build my house, so I get it. I get it. I had to help keep it up too, but I helped build my own house. So,
like my mother, she was a traditional African woman. The man took care of everything. She was she worked, she raised the kids, but it was always my dad who made the decision. And then, you know, with my sister and I, we kind of like, we don't want that. We want half of it, but not all of it. And that's what a lot of women are finding problems in life is, what part do I hold on to? What part do I let go of?
See, and I come from the exact opposite. Like, well, I mean, kind of like both my grandmothers, like my grandma on my dad's side had like 6 boys and stayed at home. But for the early part of her life, she worked for the government, and that's kind of how she met my grandfather, because he was in the military and stuff. And then my grandmother on my mom's side, she was a stay-at-home mom too. And then my grandfather died, and like she didn't have anything to live off of, so she had to go and do her own thing in the stock market, and ended up like turning over that money like crazy. And then my mom, she was actually the breadwinner of the family, and my dad was a stay-at-home dad. So I come from a totally opposite spectrum of that. So like most of my family, even though my grandmother stayed at home, they ended up outliving both of my grandfathers. So all I saw growing up was matriarchy.
Okay, I get that. You know what? We're gonna turn the corner just a little bit. I just muted Rick for a moment. I'm trying to see if that is where the noise is coming from, because I'm getting some noise that is just driving me bananas. And you just turned it back on. I muted you, and you turned it back on.
That's me in the country. That's just me in the country with the fly swatter with mosquitoes and whatnot. It's real.
Really?
It's real.
Okay.
It is real.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna turn the corner and see what y'all think about this new subject here. It actually is along the same lines, since we've been talking about the whole male-female thing, and I got my guys and dolls. I'm not gonna get into all the videos and stuff tonight. It's too late, and I'd rather better plan it. What happened to me, like I said at the top of the show, is that I kept losing internet today. I had rolling blackouts, and so I wasn't able to cue things the way that I want. So we're just going to leave it out there for now. But we're going to turn the corner and still talk about the male, female, my guys and my dolls here. But let's talk about the whole sexuality of things. But before we go there, anything in the comments that y'all want to focus on real quick? Because I'm about to wake Shannon up.
I noticed that with Tiana McCoy, the last thing she put, because they know how they treat their employees and they know how they would treat you, then if you get hired and move ahead of them, they run into the risk of being treated how they treat people. What you get is what you give is what you get. Karma is something else. And then Bridget Brown, she says, exactly. I just experienced that. The hiring manager was less qualified than me, didn't hire me, even though the company desperately need people. There is an inferiority complex that is present and very evident. Kudos, Bridget. Kudos, Tiana. Y'all know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all live.
Somebody got
if there's some music playing, that's kind of killing the vibe for us. So let's bring all that down. Yeah, because it comes off real broken up over the air. It's all like a horror story over the air. So I'm telling you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where that noise is coming from. You said, Rick, that's your outside, that's your surroundings?
Not at all.
Anybody playing music somewhere?
Michael.
Okay. No, Michael, he's muted.
Michael's on mute.
Okay, it's you, Tom. I think Tom, put your thing back on.
It could be me. I got people downstairs playing music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if y'all hear that, that's crazy.
Yeah, we can hear that.
What song did y'all hear?
I don't know, but it was just
real distorted. It was real distorted.
Before somebody blames me again.
Because you always the culprit. You are always the culprit. The other night,
you know what? You're so right. I'm always the culprit until the evidence presents itself.
Whatever. There's that Rickness. There's the what we call the Rickisms. There's the Rickisms.
Can y'all still hear it?
Cast a vote on that. We need to cast a vote on that.
Yeah, you still hear it, Tom. So why don't we do this, Tom? When you're not talking, just mute when you're not talking, and then when you get ready to talk, come back in.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn the camera off too.
No, you can come back. You keep the camera on. You keep the camera on, but just
You're gonna go knock on their door and be like, "Can y'all hush?"
Well, let me just introduce this out here, and we'll tell Tom what it is when he gets back. Since we've been talking about the male and the female and all that kind of stuff and the differences and how you get treated in the workplace and all that, let's talk about relationships and sexuality. How come, coming from the perspective of a woman as an aggressor, she is a freak. She's just nasty. But when it comes a guy as aggressor, it's a totally different thing. Give it to me now. Give it to me. What y'all think about that?
Hey, I like my freaks. I like my freaks.
I'm kind of thinking like.
Wait a minute, Mike came on that one, huh?
No, I ain't even gonna lie. I don't even know where y'all at in tonight's thing. So y'all have to bring me in or fill me in, or we start from now going forward, because that's what we do. We move forward. We can't worry about the
Lord, if you don't, okay. So what we talking about is
we just got a new question. Yeah.
When a woman is seen as kinky, it's seen as like more sexy. Like, ooh, I want that. But when a man comes off as kind of like aggressive and kinky, it seemed like a little creepy.
Yeah, creepy. Double standards.
Well, you kind of said the reverse of what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's the female
side too. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
She's female creepy, so I don't know.
So watch this. So there's times when it's like, ooh, yeah, bitch, I'm sexy, or whatever, however y'all do it, or however it portrays itself. But you take that same attitude in the workplace, and then what?
We came out of the workplace though.
No.
We're not in the workplace no more. We're not in the workplace no more.
But hell with that, because y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's keep it real. We in the living room. We in the living room.
No. We at the house. We in the crib.
We at the house now.
Okay.
Work.
The living room is in the house.
It's Friday, man.
Michael, they want to talk about sex now. They want to talk about sex, baby.
No, we're talking about
sex.
So
between two
baby. No. Okay, we're gonna talk about sex. So sex at home and sex in the workplace. That's kinky.
No. Sex at home.
No,
sex
you
at
home.
home.
The workplace. We are past that. We done clocked out. We went home, got our paycheck, and we're ready for the weekend.
Went to happy hour and chilling.
I'm telling you, we are at happy hour talking about the things in the news.
You just picked up the finest woman at the club, and you took her home, and she started breaking out the whips and chains. So is that too much?
Fast forward though.
Wait a second. Why should she break out the whips and chain?
On the first night,
they got purses.
Hold on. Why should she break? Hold on. Why should she break out the whips and chains when ignorant or no knots don't even know how to even look at the fucking shackles? How in the hell? How in the hell? Why should they? Why should they break out the whips and chains? Like there's a probation period with that. There's like, hold on. There's some research.
There is.
Hold up.
You're not lying. You can't bring that out on the first night.
Yeah, what is the probation period, Shannon, for the whips and chains?
She gonna ask me directly. Oh Lord!
No.
Okay, listen.
The probation period. That's easy.
No.
How long did it take? No, listen, it's like this. The probation period, it depends on the person, number one, number two.
No, it does not.
And also another number one. How soon did you make your probationary period expire? Because a lot of times people consider they have I'm gonna wait. Let me see what this individual is about. Sometimes they cut it sooner. Sometimes they hire somebody that's not even up to the job and give them higher pay.
No, sir.
Before they're even qualified.
I think you really have to have a conversation before you even get to that point, really. You know what I'm saying? I was just being
that's what I'm saying.
I'm making a lot of fun about it, but it needs to be a conversation before, and you gotta like feel each other out, because everybody has their level of freakiness. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a one catch all. It's more of like what fits your relationship.
What fit?
What fits your relationship?
Shannon, shut up. Shannon, shut up. Shannon, shut the hell up. Shannon, shut the hell up.
And I repeat,
Shannon,
no,
shut the hell up and then let it out.
I repeat, Shannon.
What was the question?
Please tell us what a probation period is, of how long before you break, because I'm looking it up now.
What is your probation period? What is your probation period?
Probationary period is the time that you take to feel the person out to make sure that you're safe with that person, so they were not going to kill you or take advantage of the situation. So like, cause it takes, I'm like, and then that's real. Cause it takes a lot of trust. Listen, I still to this day, you're not going to handcuff my wrists. I got to be able to move my wrists, but you can handcuff my feet. I don't mind that, you know, but it takes like years for it takes years for that.
Shannon, if they handcuff you to your with your hands to the bed or your feet to the bed, you're stuck. What
but I can move my hands. The important factor for me is that I can move my hands. That's the important factor.
She wants to be able to
I want to be free here. I want to be free here.
What if they go kill you? It matters whether or not you're free. Or
no, that's after probation period. That's after probation period.
Thank you. That's the probationary period. That's like 6 months to a year minimum. So, that's minimum. And if it takes outside of a year, outside of a year to feel that person out, then you don't need to be having. There shouldn't be trust in that person to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Long,
right. No,
you should be able to feel that. You should be able to feel that. You should be able to feel that within the same. You should be able to feel that within the same month or within the same conversation.
Not necessarily.
Safe words are important.
You should be able to feel that. No. You should be able to feel that. Like when those vibes are thrown instantly, and like you have the urge to want to give up or having that want to just jump the gun, but hold on, whoa. But you do not jump the gun. You just have that want to jump the gun because they're exchanging the same flames and fire. They're exchanging the same flame and fire.
Like that conversation.
You have to have that conversation. Right.
You have
to have the opportunity of. You have to have the opportunity of exchanging energy. You have to have the opportunity. Oh no, not exchanging, but presenting energy.
Right.
Not exchanging,
now,
but
remember,
presenting energy.
I had my situations. We talked about it last week. I had my incidents where I thought that someone was okay. I thought we were cool, and they turned out to be, crazy. So sometimes you don't know. You might even think you're feeling something or seeing something a little bit differently. So I'm still on the whole probation period that Shannon said. What you said, 6 months.
And that's like 6 months to a year is minimum. That's minimum. Like you just gotta like feel that person out for real. Like
6 months for sex.
No.
Or for being
to be real straight up, a lot of people out there, they're having sex, but they're really not having a conversation. Really think about the last time when you've been in a serious relationship, how many times y'all really talked about what each other wanted, what each other.
Oh, I'm extremely. I can't speak on that.
We don't talk about it. We're having sex, so we go back to whatever we used to doing. That's what we're gonna do to this person, and that's what we're gonna give them. I mean, you ever be with somebody and you feel like they might be with somebody else because they're not grooving with you. They got this rhythm they already got in their head, and all they doing is like replaying the record that they know before. So I think the thing is we got to have that conversation because there's a lot of kids being made out here, but there ain't a lot of conversation really talking about what you want in sex, and then actually that can actually change as you get older. Your taste change, your experience change. And the things that you might want to try now, you didn't want to try back when you first started out. So sex is ever changing all the time.
Hey, I gotta get caught up here.
I feel like
No. Hold on, baby. We're not talking about sex as a whole. It's just like before you bring out handcuffs or like me personally, like I have like a collar and leash, like I don't bring out
my girl. No,
I don't bring out the collar and leash until
Yeah, you don't show everybody.
That's usually like I'm dating somebody.
Yeah.
Or like
Oh,
I'm
yeah. So you talking about the real freaky, like I'm walking you around my room. It was like, all right, cool.
But I think
that only takes 6 months. Is that what we're saying?
No, it's like 6 months to a year to like me personally. I don't bring out my leash until I'm like in a relationship with that person, because then that's a lot of trust. No, sir. But like when it comes to like, okay, maybe getting choked or like spanked or something like that, or like putting fingers in my mouth or something, like I need to have like at least a year with you just to know like I can trust you to do those things, like violate me in that way and not hurt me.
But how long before just regular sex? The same night?
No. The fuck?
Look, because
No. Let's keep on the subject. We talking about freakiness right now, so let's stay with
that. But I mean, we can get there. And she said 6 months to a year, but I'm just curious now, how much for just the regular sex? Because most dudes ain't sticking around a year to figure out they want. Unless they want a relationship, right?
I mean, that just depends on the person, though. Like regular sex just depends on the person, but like that extra shit, that's a completely different trust factor.
So it don't even need it doesn't need a ring or none of that.
That's a lot of different stuff.
So it doesn't need a level of commitment like marriage or any type of commitment. It's a time frame and a comfortability. Because I can tell you this, because real quick,
I don't think you're understanding like the point of like evaluating that person.
I understand, right? I understand wholeheartedly. I just tell you though, men are experts at making y'all feel comfortable.
Okay,
you telling me that all I gotta do is make you feel comfortable before I put you on a leash to walk you out my room.
I mean, that sounds like an ignorant assumption on my part. That sounds like an ignorant assumption. Just like hearing it.
Tom, please say it again.
Yeah, we are expert at making. Like, listen, I've had this conversation with women a lot of time. Women always say, "Hey, you can't get sex until I give it to you," and I say, "You know what? You're 100%." But it's my whole goal to make you want to give it to me. Right? So I will lie. I will be whoever you need me to be to get whatever I need that I want to get.
Well, that's
right?
stupid.
Now, once I get it, not saying you're stupid, but we're experts at this, right? So once I get it, you be like, why did they leave? Because we're experts. That's what we do, right? We're terrible guys, right? So
I'm sorry, you're that type of person, but obviously that's not my experience.
Yeah, and that's true, and I might not be, and I'm old. How? Because I'm sure our age difference is different, right?
I'm 31.
So how old?
I'm 31.
Okay, I'm 46, right? So we're there's a little difference there, but I would definitely tell you that most men, at least in my age and above, who I learned from, we are experts at making you want to give us the things that we crave the most. Right.
But you see what's fun about women like me is we like keeping the things that you want the most away from you.
I think so.
That's what you think, Shannon.
You don't understand our patience.
That's what I know.
So you don't understand our patience. So you would say like, "Hey, I'm keeping it from you," and that's cool. You are, but I'm over here doing something else.
That's fine. That's y'all's perspective on it.
And we all got different perspectives.
Shannon, let me say something. Shannon, on Facebook, I have a lot of men your age.
Okay.
Say the same thing men in their 50s used to say at that age. And it's like, I've heard the book. I know the book. So when men are coming at you the same way they came at me at your age, you as a woman, women, we always say, oh, I'm better than the woman before me. I know how to handle this man. But in reality, it's the same game that's being played when it comes to relationships. A lot of men, if they can get you in the bed, the very first night, they'll get you in the bed. That's what they want to do. It's my game. Hello. I'm saying that I've been through that.
So I will say this though, y'all was all on y'all kinky shit with chains and whips and whipped cream and damn, melted cheese and candle wax. Right. So let me tell you something. I know y'all were talking about 6 months, 12 months. Look here, if the vibration is good, if the energy is good, you can fuck, suck, and do anything else you want to do with them whips, chains, and handcuffs, man. So it's the vibrations between the two people. Somebody said something about communication, right? I can talk. I'm not going to say I. There are people who can sit down and have conversations for 2 days, depending on the length of time that they spend conversating, you know what I mean? And the types of things that's being said, you can reach a level of consent, right? Just by engaging, right? Just by engaging. Hey, you, Miss Lady, you may have a different perception or an outlook based off of anything that you recall, that you recollect, and whatever, your experiences and everybody's experiences makes them to who they are. But that's why I said, depending on the conversation, if the vibe and the energy is good, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If people consider, okay, for example, now, okay, fuck it, pimp mode strong. Now, right, in Korea, plenty of hardcore women who swore to God that for 12 months they wasn't giving up shit. Ain't nobody getting none of
right.
this. Ain't nobody
right.
Right. So let me tell you something.
Bullshit.
An ounce of doubt is a world of trouble. And I'm gonna tell you that I would purposely instill doubt in these females' head and watch them unfold their whole relationship that they said they was doing married.
Yeah.
Just an ounce of doubt. Right, and they would question their whole thing. And I'm not necessarily picking on anybody in particular. I'm just saying that I've seen it done, just like I've seen it done to where men thought they wasn't gonna do nothing, and then women would whisper in their ear, right, and then they would break their code as well, right, or their commitment. So it can be done, but it's that vibration too as well. What I'm saying is between two people. If two people vibing the same night, they may break out whips, chains, and hooks and everything else. That's you. You're different. So if that's you and you're different, then my hats off to you for holding it down and keeping it where it needs to be for 6 months to 12 months.
Yeah, and they out there.
And you're a fool. And you're a fool. And you're a fool. You are a fool to believe. You are a fool to believe you are the only vibration. You are a fool to believe you're the only vibration.
Like with me,
What are we saying?
I know what certain men to stay away from, because I know they know how to whisper in my ear for me to start to listen to what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we'll do it all. Like there's nothing we won't do if we want it that desperately. Right?
And I'm not saying it's not.
They're called Iceberg Slim.
Men out there like that.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying like there's not conniving men out there like that. You know what I mean? Like I've been through a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But like there's just a grace period when it comes to like the BDSM community. There's just a grace period a lot of times before you bring those things out. That's just what it is. Like,
why don't you just say the rules and bylaws of the lifestyle?
No, and I don't disagree. And I don't disagree. Right?
Hold on, what is the BD who?
It's hold on, I gotta get the exact breakdown.
Yeah, it's bondage, dominatrix, sadomasochism, right?
Yeah.
So
wait, Michael. So hold on. It's not Buddhism. It's not Buddhism. It's not, like Frfr. It's not Buddhism.
Yeah, it's not that. So, but why you? Shannon, why you just didn't say that according to the lifestyle that there's a waiting period, right? Why did you just didn't tell them about that?
Well, I mean, I didn't know I needed to like make that clear. I thought that was like the assumption we were going off of.
Most people, no, because most people hear whips and chains and they don't associate it with BDSM.
Because I'm in the community, that's like my assumption that this is already an understanding. So I apologize. But like a lot of the time, like if you are in that community, especially because of how it's portrayed, like 50 Shades of Grey, like it's nothing like that. There is barely any type of consent and all of that. Like that's extremely frowned upon. Like you bring up 50 Shades of Grey to anyone that's actually involved in the community and they're like, no, we don't get down like that. That's not how it gets down.
There's rules and bylaws and everything.
Yeah, it's just like there's like certain rules that are brought by. It doesn't make sense to people who aren't in it.
I don't know how.
Yes, question.
Educate me on
That's what I
okay?
heard. I heard that there was rules and bylaws and all that.
Okay, Mike, you
Okay,
talking
hold
about
on.
What?
Wait.
Okay, y'all, I got a little lost. Hold up. Everybody stop. Got a little lost in this conversation. It just went everywhere. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the focus here.
Kenny,
The
you're
original
gonna have to
focus.
educate me later.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I brought out the.
But I answered the Great Spirit. I got my answer. What I was looking for, but I still want to stay on point about the great when we're talking about males versus females, how it's okay for one and not the other. We were starting there, and then it went into the whips and the chains and all that kind of stuff like that.
Tanya, that's just what happens. It ain't the first time.
It's not the first time. Not gonna be the last time.
But Tanya, you know the question you asked.
Yeah, I was really trying to.
But with Shannon is talking about the be whatever that. What is it? And the 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, it's like that's not something we even knew back then. So when you talk about relationship and the man being aggressive and the versus the women being aggressive, it really doesn't apply to these new groups that are out there because they
I'll
have.
tell you this. I'll tell you this. When I first
go ahead, Rick.
No, you go ahead, love. Go ahead, love.
No, I was just saying, I really think that is true. There is a certain type of openness that we were not used to. So I can agree with that. That there's definitely, gosh, how do I say? I talk about it a lot. How remember when there was a time, and it wasn't too long ago. It was within the last 10 years. People would meet, and that's when the other generation was coming up, and all they would say is, "What's up?" All they had to say was, "What's up?" Remember that? Is that
hey, little mama. Hey, little mama. Let me holler at you. Hey, little mama.
But what I'm saying, it wasn't just the hype talking of, that what's up with you. It was just what's up, and that meant. And I don't know, maybe it was just here at ATL if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But that meant that they were going to go and cross, they were going to cross that line and they were going to get together. All it took was what's up. There was no conversation. It was what's up and what's up. Now, I saw it happening. I didn't get involved in it because it takes a lot more than some damn what's up. But
Tanya, before that, we used to say, you remember when we were going to the clubs, the guys used to say, "What's up?" and then they would have a conversation. Then the next generation took out the conversation and just started with the, "Hey, what's up?" Because when guys say to me, "What's up?" I said, "No, what's up?" And they look at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, okay,
not a damn thing.
Say something. Yeah.
It's like there's no room. There's no longer any room or acknowledgement for courtship. None of that. Like they're saying, no, that was back in that was back in y'all day. It's like, no, now remember, we did listen to Two Live Crew, and there were a lot of Two Live Crew behaviors out there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you have certain standards, because we had standards. Well, I was standards. My generation.
Ain't nobody standing.
Ain't nobody standing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as soon as you ain't got no standards, you be standing in the line of the clinic. Rick, shut up.
The clinic. Man, everything now got something that'll get rid of it, man. You don't need to be no standards. You don't need no standards.
Not everything.
Standards for
they live free.
Not everything. Not everything.
You don't need standards.
Almost said something.
Don't be giving false information. We got people listen to us,
Good.
You don't need no standards.
Look here, everybody. All those that are listening. We're not experts. We just have experiences. Period.
We're just out here living, baby.
I agree.
Hey, so Tanya,
But let me ask y'all a question.
That's right.
Tanya, I'm looking
Yes.
at the chat from Tiana. What is sadicism and masochism? What is that?
Huh?
Masocism.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, masochism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look up your Google definition
Shannon,
for you.
Shannon, take this question, Shannon.
just Google
take this
it.
question, Shannon.
Hold on, I'm looking up the Google definition for y'all, so I don't tell you anything wrong.
I'm gonna give you the definition for M, right? And it says a person is someone who finds gratification through pain and degradation or pleasure in self-denial. Psychological is someone who looks for ways to torment themselves in their day-to-day, right? I mean, that's just one variation of the definition, right? You know what I mean? Yes, put your foot on my face. Pee on me.
So she meant sadism, which is the tendency.
I am worthless.
Wait, hold on.
I got a question.
And then sadism is the tendency to derive pleasure from inflicting those things.
Oh shit.
So it literally, it's bondage, discipline, dominance, submission, and then like those are the two roles that you have in it. And me personally, it didn't hurt me, but I mean,
the domination.
I do like a good leash.
A lot of that is like, from what I've learned, a lot of that comes from when people, especially in corporate, more so in corporate.
Yes, postmen are wild, bro.
Yeah, when people wrongfully in corporate, when they wrongfully fuck over people over and over again, they have a sense of this mental and they want to feel as if they just like people going to a certain form of religion and putting money in whatever to rid themselves of guilt. This is their form of paying their and offerings, basically. So they have like a
dominatrix. Usually those men end up having a dominatrix that ends up inflicting
and women. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It's all in equal measure. It's like one sex doesn't cheat any more than the other. It's just that the other one is just covered up.
True that.
Okay. I mean, Tiana brought in a lot of stuff. That just seems like a whole lot of work. My God.
And that's the thing. It's like, why isn't Tiana and why isn't Bridget a part of man?
So Tiana said, I'm a brat. Like, me and Tiana are in the same boat. Tiana said, I'm a brat. Like, I want to feel pain, but I want to earn it. And I know what I did to get the pain.
Oh my God.
Almost choked.
She's
almost choked.
Oh my God.
She's advertising. Let the advertisement begin. Let the advertising begin.
Well, you all have got me completely baffled tonight.
Okay.
I mean, this.
We just telling.
You ain't have to say anything. Welcome to the other side.
Look, I'm never gonna bring up chains ever again in my whole entire life. I'm never gonna bring it up again. You guys have cured me. You have cured me tonight.
Let me ask a question.
Well, that's all. Bola, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Michael.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna leave it alone.
Michael, don't play. Michael, don't play. Michael, don't play.
You gotta tell us.
So let me ask you this here. So y'all talking about like these things, right? Y'all talking about these physical things, right? These things that are in the physical form to assist you in your sexual lives or assist you with sexual gratification. What about your mental? Right? What about your mental? Can you be mentally right? Can you be mentally stimulated can you be mentally stimulated to a point to where it brings you to a climax?
Yeah.
Without physical touch, without physical assistance, without manual assistance.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that. Come on. I'm
Hold on. With the construct of the layout and the objectives, but that is a real conversation, Tanya. That is a real conversation, though.
I'm letting y'all have it. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't all the time.
I can't stand Mike. I can't stand that ninja. I can't stand that ninja. I mean, he does this.
So Tiana said it best. She goes, BDSM isn't 100% of the time. You want to stimulate me. Well, I don't know about being smarter than me, but she said be smarter than me. My whole thing is like, if you are that open, like that's the whole root of Karma Sutra. It's like you have that to the person before you walk into it. You know what I mean? Like, don't think just because I brought this leash out on here, you know, I mean, this is still the root. You know what I mean? So like the spirituality is there beforehand. It's just like there are certain rules to that environment as well. Like just because someone is into one aspect doesn't mean that they're not into multiple things.
Sapiosexual.
Okay, so
exactly. At the end of the day, the greatest sex organ is between the ears, not between your legs. Okay.
Right. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's
between your temples.
I'd like to leave the audience. You know how we do every week. You know, as we start to go towards the end of the living room, and the discussion start to taper down, we like to leave our audience with something. So let's talk about the mental of the sexual experience. Go.
Hey,
sunshine.
So I'm gonna just tell you like this here, man. When they tell you that everything is
mental, Jesus?
When they tell you that everything is mental, right? So on it, you know, when we deploy, depending on what the place of location, you're not allowed to have any motivational material to assist you in your assist you when you're trying to reach a certain point, you know what I'm saying, you know, manually. So you have to get creative. And in the process of being creative, I took it upon myself to try, you know, to basically this whole psycholagny type of thing, right? You can look up that term, psycholagnic. And I got damn good at it. Okay. And I can't even think straight no more. But no,
because it's lagging.
Man, where you going with this, bro?
Look up the term.
Where is he going with this?
It's lagging right now.
Let's find out. We're in the rabbit hole. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we're in the rabbit hole. Basically,
a major rabbit hole.
Basically, I can say the word orgasm. Basically, you make yourself bust a fucking nut by just straight using your brain. Okay. No physical nothing.
Listen.
You know what I mean? So, and all I'm saying is, if you can do that to yourself, like through like, you know, mental whatever, then can you? How much can you put out, you know, or project or do whatever to somebody else? Is you know, and help in that field. And I'm asking. This is open to the floor. I'm just asking. You know, let's go. Let's talk about it.
Hey man, I don't know. Maybe for me, I just don't necessarily want to do that mentally.
To me personally, it takes a lot out of the whole situation.
I mean, Bernard, what were you saying, Bernard? What was that?
Okay, sexuality is an individual choice. Men and women, it was meant for men and women, not for man by himself or woman by himself. You know what I'm saying? It's an exchange of caring, connecting, a way that men and women connect to each other, how people connect, and some people, if you belong to a different type of mindset. So to me, just to do it by yourself, yeah, that's a short change, but I think you're cheating yourself out of the bigger experience. Now, out of necessity, if you're just by yourself and there's no one around, you go for it, bro. You go for it. But if I have my choice,
you know,
it's always going to be with a woman. If I have my choice,
about how you can mentally.
I understand what you're saying.
Can you bring your body to that mentally, which is something
I
totally
get it.
Whoa.
But I thought when I was talking about
look.
mental, when I was talking about mental, hold on a second. When I was talking about mental, is that I can have a conversation with a woman to ease her and put her in a certain position where she will reach climax a lot quicker through conversation and stimulation and having that dialogue versus just going for what I know. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about mental too, we talk about how you're communicating with each other on a mental level and how you putting that person at ease where they're receptive to you and you guys can enjoy it a lot better, you know? And that's what I'm talking about. Not just being by yourself.
It ain't hold on. Let me clarify something. Go ahead. Me clarify. Me talking about psycholagnate, right? That's just me like building the baseline for what the type of mindset that I'm talking about or that I'm dealing with. Me and as far as my vernacular, when I'm like assessing it and engaging with a female, in the pictures that I can paint with my words, that's something totally different as far as making her feel something, you know what I'm saying, within from her head to her feet, you know what I'm saying, from her inside and her outside, from the depths of her soul and everything else. Like, so the conversation piece, so I'm with you there, Big Papa. So the conversation piece is one thing, but I was just trying to paint the picture of the type of like mentality, you know what I'm saying, as far as the mental stimulation piece of it, and then the mindset itself. Because we can talk about whips and chains, and that's not a pun, and we can talk about, you know what I'm saying, banging it out and blowing out the back and doing everything else. But like, you know what I'm saying, I was just trying to go into a different realm with the whole mental aspect. Like, you know,
I get it.
Yeah.
Can you bring your mind? Can your mind bring your body there? Can your mind bring your body there? Because we all know that physical touch can do that. But go ahead.
Tanya, right there. Hold on. Just to bring our audience in. Tiana made a comment. Made a comment. Just to scroll in the comments, just to bring our audience in. Tiana made a comment. I believe she said, orgasms. Hold on.
She said orgasms.
Orgasms don't really care though. Orgasms don't really care though. Huh.
I think she made that comment when it was about whether it's physical or mental. It's like the orgasm don't care. Like no matter how you get to it, you gonna get your tongue.
Yeah, but they do
different levels. What a burning
you don't have to have an orgasm to enjoy sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True.
I mean, it's
very true.
Like,
fucking true.
The highlight, you know what I'm saying?
No, I faked it a couple times.
So fucking true. No, because you do not. You do not need an orgasm. No, you do not need an orgasm. You do not. Look, you get to a certain point. Look, you get to a certain point. You get to a certain point in your life or in your marriage or in your relationship. You've grown with this individual. You've grown, you fall, you rise. And let's just say, for instance, not to spill the beans in my bedroom, but to give you an idea in terms of grown fucking folks, and I mean grown folks. She can leave you with, hey, like you get into the do, and she's like, all right, that's enough. And it's like, I'm like, oh, wait, what? That's it? Like, yeah. And all right, that leaves you something for greater later on. So all day I'm like, you know what? This motherfucker. Oh, I can't believe she did that. But it's like you're not treating sex like it's just extracurricular activities. You're treating it as it's like you get to a level in which, all right, so it's not the same old lay down, bend over and all that bullshit, sit on top, whatever. It kind of like rises like to like a respect level, or like it just heightens the intensity. like you have something to look
next
forward to.
engagement.
You don't
Yes,
have to
but you're not
finish. You don't have to
satisfied though,
finish.
Rick.
You know, it's not a matter of finishing. It's a matter of continuing. It's the craft and it's the art form of continuing, leaving something
That's
to the
different than the
imagination.
statement he said, though. That's different than your original statement, though. That's a different. That's a plain. That's a form.
And it may be
easy. That's a different concept of saying, because through all of that it's cool, but I ain't satisfied. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I got to get my satisfaction out of this.
Hey,
Rick.
You can get your satisfaction, but for me, there's nothing wrong with prolonging the satisfaction.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree,
right.
But the satisfaction has to come, right? So if we start this Saturday morning and I'm waiting on Wednesday, that's a problem.
Yeah. No, you talking about Wednesday, but hold on. You talking about Wednesday though? You talking about Wednesday?
I need the release, or me and her got issues, right? Like, I don't mind the game. I don't mind the game. We can play the game all day.
Yeah, but you talking about Wednesday from Saturday? Wednesday from Saturday though?
That's a long game, Rick. I'm not having it.
I don't know. I'm with him.
That's too long.
I didn't say Wednesday. I didn't say days. I'm not talking about days.
He's talking about one in the same day, not 3 days.
Yeah, the same day.
Exactly.
We got to start to bring this to a wrap. So, in conclusion, what I'm saying is we got the whips and the chains and all that with a probationary period. Then we have the what's it called again when the mental thing again, Michael?
No, it's psycholagnic.
How do you spell that?
Don't be doing it right now. Don't be doing
How do you spell that? Because Google ain't bringing me a definition.
So it's PSYCHO, right? Psycholagnic, LAGNIC. Yeah.
Okay. So we have that.
That's how that goes.
And then we have the guys who's
word for today.
I just want to see where y'all were gonna go on that whole subject. It was we didn't go as far as as I thought that y'all would. I mean, y'all were far enough, but into a debate, y'all done hit a debate area, but that's cool too. It was still interesting where you went, but I'm just kind of curious. But next time around, we will get to play the game. I prayerfully will not have internet issues that rolling blackouts that cause me not to do my homework like I was trying to do today. Like I said, I want to go into anything, but I still appreciate the conversation that we had tonight from what was happening with women versus men in the workforce, as well as women versus men in the bedroom. I can dig all that. All right. So as we always do, I like to see what everybody is working on as we come to a wrap here. I like to see everybody's doing. So I'm going to go around. I don't know where Rickness is, but we're going to go around. Maybe we'll get to him somewhere in the whole thing here. So let's start with Shannon. Shannon, what you got going on right now, girl?
Well, I showed y'all at the beginning of the show. I have this painting I'm wrapping up, and then I have 2 or 3 more paintings behind that I'm working on. I have a logo I'm wrapping up. I have another logo behind that. And as far as I know, I think I'm open after that. So, and I'm also I'm still trying to get my feet wet in corporate and stuff because I'm not 100% on that. Waiting on some Tandy stuff to come through, But other than that, I'm open. So get me while I'm on the market.
Yeah, Tandy's. We'll get the Tandy
follow me on Element Rose 13 on everything.
Okay,
there.
Element Rose 13. All right. Well, Tom, we thank you for joining us tonight. What you got going on out there right now, Mr. Turn 'em Loose?
Oh man. So we're definitely moving forward with Turn 'em Loose. We're getting more focus on our coaching, our mentoring, our inspiration, motivation, education, right? And giving it to the youth and giving back to the community like we're supposed to. I'm out here in Baltimore. So, we're definitely trying to educate young people and get them into the workforce sooner with skill sets that are necessary to progress throughout life. So That's what we're looking at. That's what we're getting to, and turn them loose. And we gonna, I'll leave it there.
Keep going. All right.
I let Mike do the rest.
All right, turn them loose. The sequel. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. So for the most part, you heard what was going on with that. Like I said, big plans, for the future. You know what I mean? So, and then, like you said, he's down there in Baltimore. I'm still up here in the dirty Jersey, as they call it, the New Jersey. So, planting seeds, looking for the growth. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we at. Input equals output. So, I mean, I could go on along with those, but that's pretty much where we at, man, with that. So, just waiting, basically just waiting for the results. Like we said, we're talking about, finishing up and wrapping up careers, or at least for me, careers, which will allow me that access down there in Maryland. You know what I mean? And once that go down, it's on and popping, baby. So turn them loose. You know what I mean? Coming soon. We ready. We building. We ready.
All right, then. All right, Bernard. We thank you for joining us tonight. What you got going on?
A lot of things have changed. I've went and just really embraced the creative side of me, and also looking to help people. I see myself as a statesman in this point in my life. So I've been working on Pop's Guide, and Pop's Guide is going to help dealing with kids as far as me writing my book, my series of book based on African proverbs, but also dealing with relationships too. After this, I plan to write a book called I Love You When I'm Loving You. And it's going to be about 3 men and 3 women and 3 generations, and how they perceive the flip side of their conversations or their feelings as they progress in a relationship. So I'm gonna need some input from you ladies, because I know the men's side, but I need some input from Shannon, Bola, Tanya, Margo. I might be calling on you guys, but I'm really looking to really give back to young people and parents and stuff, because I was a single dad. And I think I did a great job in my raising my son, and you just see the results of who he is. So I think people need that guidance, because they got a lot of knowledge, but they don't have a lot of wisdom out there. And I'm just going to give some old-fashioned wisdom from Pops.
Okay. All right. I ain't mad at you. What you got going on, Margo?
Margo is just being me right now, enjoying my summer, and just diving a little bit deeper in my creativity. I got a new track that's coming out soon. No, I'm just
Drop it like it's hot.
I'm being pushed to do some things a little bit different, a little bit out of the comfort zone, but not in a negative way, in a positive way. So I'm just starting to do a little bit of exploring and try to figure out what else am I partially gifted in, and I'm applying that to my purpose. So that's great. That's me. Still just look, nothing extra special, but just being me.
Thank you, Margo. Thank you. Bola, we're gonna try this tonight. I'm gonna try to put up your information, but what you got going on? Let's see if I can do it at the same time.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, it did work. Well, what I've got is coaching with spiritual recovery coach. And what I do is I help women, and I do work with men to amass their identity, transform their relationship, and align their mindset. A lot of people find themselves stuck, or they don't know who they are. When you don't know who you are, you can't walk in your purpose. And it's all about walking in your purpose. And when you look for relationships, a relationship starts with us first. And I'll make it before we try to find somebody else to be a part of. So I'm just working on
Okay.
that, and I'm also doing I started a nonprofit for Sierra Leone with the children and computers, getting computers in the school in West Africa.
Thank you, Bola. Let's see if I can get mine to roll. I always say my whole Tandyland thing, but I just brought in my visual. So let's see if this goes down.
We hope
right
that
way.
you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media.
I like that, Tanya.
Yeah, I don't know what it did for y'all, but on this side, it won't do nothing, Harley. So
It was nice.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we really like
that we
Yeah,
play.
it's still playing. It's nice.
Yeah, we really like the 1-900 boys.
Oh yeah. But that if you watch the show, like the other interviews I played, this is all the visuals from the actual Art Imitates Life, and so I always have a hard time coming in here, and it's tandyland.com. That's where you can find me, all my social media, like you saw just now. But also, I do want to say for people who would like to be guests on the show, we also hit us at info@Tandyland. You can send us an email there, and if you want to be on the show, you have comments about the show, or you just hit us at a Gmail account, TandyAIL@gmail. So you always have a way that you can get in touch with us and be on the show, comment about the show, what have you. We really thank you all for tuning in, because tonight I felt like a hot mess. It's just, if anybody was talking to me before the show, I'm telling you, if anybody was talking to me before the show, you knew I was a little rattled because it was a lot that was happening.
No,
but you all calmed me down. You made it
natural. Natural.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hence the intro to the original. Natural, Arrested Development, 1992. Natural. Keep living. Tanya, keep living. Real life. That's real. I'm going to keep doing that. I don't care. I don't care.
But I was I was a little lost when we started off, because we were supposed to have y'all room people tonight, and that didn't happen. But I think the biggest thing was just when I am that Libra balanced brain, and when things throw off my balance, I get a little bit like, oh my goodness. And so y'all helped to smooth it out. We had a good show nevertheless, and we're still gonna be back next week to do it all over again. So thank y'all for being here.
Yes, and real quick, shout out to the fathers that did not just donate sperm. Shout out to the fathers, the real men, the real men, the alphas, the men that.
But let me just say this. I really felt like the guys, y'all do get the bad end of the stick, because one of our guys from the other Texas shows, Kedrick, had said, hey, we get on the call. He said, we're not talking about this weekend because it's Father's Day. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't see no advertisements on TV. I had seen all this other stuff like Mother's Day. And so the guys, y'all do get the rough end. You don't get a lot of ads and promotions and stuff like that. So for all of y'all who just doing it for the love, I say thank you all for being the great fathers. And of course, I miss my dad as well. He's moved on. Well, he's passed on, moved on, But thank you all, you fathers out there.
The men that's doing their work, the men that's doing their craft, and the men that's doing extensively, and that the men that are stepping up.
There you go.
Thank you. The men that are stepping up to be fathers to young men and young ladies that deserve a father. Thank you on behalf of such. Thank you. Just know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Real talk. What do y'all think? Tanya, take it away.
Yes. So I'm just again glad that you all were here for this, and it's time for us to go. So you all thank you all out there for attending. What you got, Rick?
I would like for Tiana and Bridget to show.
Bridget's
They are very insightful. Very insightful.
I wanted to bring Tiana in on this. We had a full room. I thought we had a full room this time.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a lot more full room, but we had a lot of people with technical issues. I think it's a little bit different here on the StreamYard. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of fortunate, things I like about this. Things that are really good, but there are some things on the reception side that people kind of struggle with a little bit. So we're going to work the kinks out on that. And definitely, we'd love to have Tiana come in and the whole nine. So, all right, y'all.
And Bridget.
Bridget's
Cheers, everybody.
been here with us.
Bridget's been here before. You just weren't here.
Mm-hmm. Bridget, thank you for holding down, sis. Y'all, Tiana, oh my God. Love Tanya, take it away. Take it away.
She said,
y'all say, I know he keep talking. Would you hush, Rick, and let me end the show, please?
I love the love. I love the acknowledgement. I love the love. I love the participation. I love it. Be it good or bad. Be it good or bad.
I love the show. I love y'all being here. You have made this show a whole different feeling for me. I'll say that again. I really appreciate you. Not that I didn't love it in the radio days, but the video is a whole lot different feeling. And so really love y'all being here. Shout out to Veronica for she couldn't get in tonight.
Veronica.
Shout out to Veronica. And then Samantha had to drop off into the technical issues. So we're going to work it out, y'all. We're going to work it out. So all of you, thank you so much for tuning in for yet another Art Imitates Life. I'm Tanya Dixon, and this is a Living Room Panelist, the team. And we will see you next time on Art Imitates Life.
Life.
See y'all.